here in just a few minutes. And as we talked about just a few minutes ago, Kansas football, they're back in action. 5-0. College game days in town out there in Lawrence. Rob Riggle's there. I'm pretty sure some other notable alums are there as well. So we'll dive into that. And also a fan who caught Aaron Judge's 60-second home run ball gets a quite lucrative offer from an auctioneer.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll find out just how much he was offered. And coming up in about 30 minutes, we will have our sneakers of the week during our Hate It or Love It segment. Let's get to today's headlines.
And now, here are the biggest sports headlines from this week. We bring them to you every Saturday morning on The W with Walls and the Crew on 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Royals fire manager Mike Matheny after 3 seasons. Steve, what are your thoughts?
Mike Matheny, he started out good, just taking over for the one and only Ned Yost, So, but Ned got us to, or not us, but got the Royals in Kansas City a pennant, world championship. So when you're taking over for a guy like that, you're expected to come in and fill those shoes. And he wasn't able to do that. And I understand it's a building year, it's a process. However, when you have a new ownership, they're not as invested in you as the Glass family was.
Yeah.
Like the Glass family signed off on your hire after Ned Yost. And so now you're getting a guy that came in and is like, all right, we really don't know what we're going to get from him. Even though, he was a catcher, he was a former player, long time St. Louis Cardinal. And he managed the Cardinals from 2012 to 2018. And he took them to a World Series appearance back in 2013, but that was 10 years ago. So what have you done for me lately?
Yeah.
And so he's out of here.
No, I mean, the Royals have just stunk.
Yeah.
Literally since, what was it, 2016?
Yeah.
So, I mean, they've just wet the bed in all areas. There hasn't been anything exciting to happen within the organization outside of Patrick Mahomes being like a part owner.
Yeah.
It's just nothing has been exciting about it. Nothing has really riled up the fan base. And maybe not the fan base, but because I feel like the Royals have a lot of loyal fans, but I mean, there's nothing that's been attractive in the city to go see the Royals. And I think that energy not only is across the city, but it bleeds over into the team.
Yeah.
Like, the team has no type of energy. There's no personality outside of Salvi. Like, we don't really know much about them. And then the whole situation with the kid that got traded. What's his name?
Who you talking about?
Who was the kid that got traded for not taking
you're talking about with
Merrifield. Yeah. So that whole debacle, like, there's a lot going on in the front office that needs to be righted. And who knows what it is. But there definitely needs to be some new energy in the building.
But you know what? Look, in baseball, especially Royals baseball, I think the benchmark is 80-some wins. You want to get into that benchmark year in and year out. Like, no matter what, you need to get to at least 80 wins. I mean, that's basically 50-50 ball, 500 ball, So I really feel like that's what you need to get to. But then when you look at he won 74 games in 2021. That's the highest win total that he had. And his overall finish in 3 years is 165 and 219. Like, that's terrible.
That's really bad.
That's under 500 in 3 years. That you can't expect to stay around long if you're losing more games than you're winning.
No,
because Jazz, it's all about the
win.
Exactly. It's all about the W. It's all about the W.
I was like,
exactly. I threw you that hoop real quick. But no, it's all about the W. And, if you can't win, there's no reason to keep you around.
No, definitely. And there's just a lot that needs to change in the
Yeah.
organization. Player wise, like the whole nine. Like
Yeah.
they need some stars here. But then it's again reflective of the front office, because why don't players want to come here?
You know, it was a space where players wanted to come when they were winning. Yeah, yeah. So, and now it's kind of just like, Kansas City, we're not going to play for the Chiefs.
And that's why I'm saying it takes some reflection, because the NFL, there are guys that stop here at least come on visits, toy with the idea of coming, but baseball, no.
Yeah, and you're also kind of in the shadow of, are we moving to a new stadium? Are we building a new stadium? Are we moving?
Yeah,
what exactly are we doing?
I don't know if that matters more than the overall picture of who you're going to play for.
Okay. All right, I agree.
Now, speaking of the Chiefs, it's Raiders week this week in Kansas City. The Chiefs take on the Las Vegas Raiders on Monday Night Football. Let's hear from Chiefs QB Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick, it's Raiders week. What makes them so different?
Yeah, you know it's going to be a battle every single time. It's going to be both teams trying to play their best football. It's a true rivalry. We know that it doesn't matter what the records are. You're going to go out there and play. It's going to be a dogfight. And they got a great football team. I mean, their record, they don't have the best record, but every game they've been in the game or been leading the game at certain points. So we understand it's going to be a great challenge for us. And especially Monday night at Arrowhead, we want to go out there and find a way to win.
Find a way to win. This is one of those games that's kind of reminiscent of a couple weeks ago when they played the Colts, where on paper the Colts came into that game, they hadn't won the game yet. And so you're like, all right, that's one of those scary games where they have nothing to lose. It's like going to come in, put all their cards on the table, give you everything they got to try to right their ship, so to speak, on the season. And I was talking in the barbershop yesterday about Derek Carr coming into Arrowhead, always has good games, no matter even if it's in Arrowhead, whether it's in Oakland Coliseum, whether it's in Las Vegas. He typically has great games against the Chiefs team, and don't know what it is, but he just does. Now he has a new QB, Devontae,
new wide receiver,
wide receiver, and Devontae Adams. And this is, to me, and I'm gonna say it now, this is one of those games where Derek Carr could possibly get on the same page as Devontae Adams, and it turns their season around. Because don't get me wrong, the Chiefs defensive backs, they haven't played their best. I mean, they've been okay, but over the past few seasons, and they've had it's on film where you've had wide receivers that have gone for 200 plus yards in a quarter, 150 yards in a quarter, a couple touchdowns, 200 yards over the course of the game. So I think this could be one of those games, and I think that's the scary thing about it.
No, it could definitely be one of those games. Derek Carr isn't like the elite quarterback that's always clutch, that is always going to mount that comeback behind victory. But he is one of those quarterbacks, and the Raiders are one of those teams, just like the Colts, that will treat you like Jordan Poole and their Draymond Green. Like they'll
shots fired.
They'll swing first, and that's what happened. And that's what happened in the Colts game. The Colts swung first off of that fumble kick return, and they were able to just keep the momentum. And I think that's the tough thing about the Chiefs defense not being as dominant as you would want them to be, not being at the level of the offense. And it's tough. I mean, it's tough because we're in a passing league. Like, there's not many dominant corners and safeties like that spread across the league. So you have to have these patchwork defenses that can hopefully like bend but not break. And I think that's been the tough thing for the Chiefs the past few seasons, is really like solidifying that defense. What are we laughing at?
We're laughing at the chat here. If you're listening to us on 100.1 FM, you can also comment on our Facebook live feed or Twitter live, however you want to watch us on social media. But some comments going on, and friend of the show, Adam Garcia, is just talking some nonsense.
I knew it was Adam. That's why I'm like, what are we laughing at?
First of all, he talked about he kind of dove into the Raiders depth chart a little bit, and talked about Hunter Renfrow. He's questionable coming into this week, talking about his route running capability, and the Raiders have kind of had that two-headed monster, so to speak. Of course, last year, now they only have Josh Jacobs in their running game, and so I think Josh Jacobs is a good runner.
No, he's a solid running back.
Yeah.
And that's all you need to beat the Chiefs. You need one or two weapons, one weapon on the passing end that can make that clutch catch, which Devontae Adams can be. And then Josh Jacobs, like, just hard-nosed running. It's a no nonsense. We're not going east and west. We're going north and south. We're running over you. And that's what the Chiefs defense has a problem with. But if the defensive line can get going and can control the line of scrimmage, and not control it from a sense of, the run game doesn't get going. But I think if they put enough pressure on Derek Carr, he can get rattled and he won't get settled. And, couple in crowd noise and all that, it becomes one of those games like the Terrell Pryor year where they get backed up 3rd and 30 a couple of different times and they just lose all the momentum in the game. And that's what the Chiefs defense has to do. That the Chiefs defense has to stop them from gaining that momentum.
Yeah, and it's one of those games too where you gotta if you're better than a team. This is what great teams do. If you're better than a team on paper, you have to come out and be that plus some.
No,
you have to dominate the whole game. And so I think this game is, if they don't come out and just punch them in the mouth, I mean, it's going to be a tough game.
And that's it has to be one of those games where they put up 14 points within the first 5 minutes of the game, first 5 to 10 minutes of the game, and really jump out there. But again, if the Raiders are able to come in and run the ball really effectively, like, I feel like we'll see Derek Carr under center more. It's football weather right now. So we could, I don't know what the weather's going to be like Monday night.
80 degrees going up into 7 p.m. and then kind of.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, going into Monday night, again, it's fall here. So, some receivers' hands might get a little dead from being out in the desert. So there's a lot of factors that play into it, but if they could come in and control the clock and keep Pat off the field, might be another long day.
Yeah, and Patrick Mahomes, one thing before we move on that he brought up, and the question was asked about, his connection with McCole Hardman, contract year for McCole. He just said, because you guys remember early on, I think it was week 1 where he missed McCole on a couple of times, and he came out and said, I owe McCole 2 touchdowns.
He did this last week too.
and so he's missed him on a few. If I'm McCole, I'm saying, hey, I got to get some touches.
Well, and
Patrick's answer to that was, McCole is just he's battling an injury, which McCole is battling a heel injury. Which, I mean, that can, and he said earlier that it can kind of linger, a little bit throughout, and it's been lingering throughout the season. But, I mean, if he's out there, it means he's ready to go.
Yeah. Like, even Pat just saying he's battling an injury, that sounds like an excuse.
Oh, of course.
Like, and that's not an excuse I want to hear from my quarterback. Again, if he's out there, you need to be hitting him. And especially last week, I think it was 1 or 2 plays. He's running wide open up the field, and he got missed. So that just begs the question of, like, how much Patrick trusts him.
I agree,
and
I agree.
It may not be anything that McCole has done, but again, the parallel of him and 10, there's a stark difference, and I don't know if Pat misses 10 on that many throws. So again, like, it's nothing McCole did, but
McCole did.
Because he's running the routes, he's getting open, and Pat's not seeing him, and so that that's a problem.
Yeah.
And especially if I'm a Chiefs fan, that would be a problem for me because, again, like you said, contract year, you should be helping this guy, do the best that he can on top of helping the team. And
Yeah.
for some reason, McColl's a blind spot.
And I think you still got to have that number one wide receiver. You do. I mean, Juju is, and the question was, is Juju living up to the hype? I don't know.
No.
A lot of those passes that Juju could have, or receptions that Juju, targets that he could have had, Pat overthrew, underthrew. And so I think
that's chemistry.
That, I don't think he's got the opportunity to be, in that position just yet.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, and that's what happens with the pick your poison offense. Nobody can get going.
Yeah.
And so again, when it comes late into the season, week 13, 14, when you need a catch in the third and fourth,
you gotta have somebody that's been in their bag.
Who's gonna do that? And it's probably not gonna be Juju. So and that's the tough thing again, because he doesn't build that rapport with McColl, because McColl seems hungry enough, to really want to go out there and get it. But you can't go out there and get it when the quarterback's too busy trying to hit 9 targets in a game.
I agree. And Juju did have I think a 4 or 5 catch game for like 40, 50 yards this past week. So
cool.
Solid.
But you need some of those receivers, especially, and not just Travis. You need some receivers that are making, anywhere from 10, 12 catches a game.
What about OBJ? And I know we'll talk about him a little bit later in the show. We'll save that. That was a question Darren asked about, bringing OBJ. We'll get to OBJ later on a little bit in the show, and I hate it or love it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, College Game Day picked their poison, and it's Kansas football for the first time. Steve, your thoughts?
No, I want to. This is your squad. I want to hear you. I want to hear what you got to say about College Game Day being back in Lawrence.
Oh, I'm loving it. I'm definitely loving it. Definitely huge for Kansas and Lawrence itself. But I think it should be an interesting game against TCU. I know we talked a little bit about it before the show, and I'm hoping this isn't the one where they lay the egg with all these eyes. But I'm excited for it, and I wish we could have made it out there.
Yeah, it's huge for not only Kansas football, but just for the university as well, because Kansas, the University of Kansas, when you think about KU, you think about one part of their athletic department, and that is Kansas basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's all you think about. And so there was a spurt when KU volleyball was doing well. This was a couple years ago. I don't know if you guys remember, but then they were highlighting some of the volleyball players. And now, that transition has kind of shifted over to KU football. And I was saying this to someone last week. It's like, all right, every team gets an opportunity, and it's what you do with that opportunity when the light is shined on you. And I think right now at 5-0, this is probably one of the better teams that KU has had. And I've heard somebody say, "Oh, well, the league is down." They try, because KU football, right?
Yeah.
They try to say, "Well, the league is down, so that's why they're winning." But I think this is a legit team. They have a legit quarterback. Their defense is solid. And of course, they're playing right now versus TCU, and they're down 3-0. So I think this is going to be a telltale game and say, all right, if they win this on the national spotlight, on the national stage, they're a legit team. But I think when they beat Iowa State, they were, they're a solid team.
No, definitely. And I mean, Iowa State is a formidable team,
of course,
usually. And that's a good team to beat. But I mean, KU for the longest has always mirrored the Chiefs. They mirrored the Chiefs in they were a quarterback away.
Yeah.
I think KU did a really good job of not only recruiting the kid that they have at quarterback, but bringing him in and trusting him in this offense. I think part of it started a few years back with Cozart. Pulling in a black quarterback, because you didn't see that at KU, but then pulling him in and then allowing him to be successful. And that's what you're seeing right now. You're seeing a difference from the former prototypical quarterback that's, the pocket quarterback, the big arm, to where now you're going to guys that are more exciting, that can move a little more with the football, but then also still throw it, also still be accurate. And I think that's what we're seeing in Lawrence now. We're seeing somebody that can lead an offense, but then also have the players rally around him.
Yeah.
And we haven't seen that in KU. Like, they didn't give Cozart a chance to do that. And so, he went elsewhere and played well. But yeah, I think a lot of it rests on finding this gem in a quarterback that they have. But I wouldn't be surprised if he also transfers soon, because Lawrence is a tough city to really sell people on. It's not Tuscaloosa, Alabama. It's not it's not even Jackson, Mississippi right now with Jackson State and Deion Sanders. But yeah, there's a culture change that's happening in Kansas, and you're seeing it within the football team.
And I think you talked about him transferring. I could see a scenario where he tested waters. However, I think if let's just say he gets a Heisman nomination, right? Which, he's close, right? He has 4 rushing touchdowns so far. I think he's got the capability to say, all right, we've had College Game Day. We're getting notoriety. How about I just stay here? How about I just, make this work for me and I do one more year, and then I test the NFL waters.
And that's what you would hope.
Yeah.
Again, that's what you would hope. And it's the same on an NFL team. Like, you would hope that, and it's more NBA than NFL, because NFL, you can't force your way out.
Yeah.
But you would hope that KU is keeping him happy enough to stay.
Yeah.
And to not want to take that leap either to the league or even to a bigger conference. Like, because he could easily go Pac-12, bottom of the barrel Pac-12 team, a middle of the road SEC team, and really make some noise looking forward to his NFL career.
And folks on here are saying, again, you can watch us on in one of our social media platforms, or they're in the comments right now if you're listening on 100.1 FM. But they're talking about NIL deals. They're talking about he's going to possibly sign a huge deal. NIL will impact where he goes.
Yeah.
Jazz, Lawrence, what would be your number one place that you would say in Lawrence where they come and say, all right, Jalen, we're going to get you a $800,000 to $1 million NIL deal?
That's a good question. I feel like it would have to be like a food chain or a big chain restaurant. Torchy's Tacos would be a good one.
Torchy's Tacos.
It would be a good one. Or even just like one of the bars downtown, I feel like, or on Mass Street, like one of the big ones, like a lot of the people watch the games at. I feel like that would only be fitting for them to link up with.
What's Johnny's Tavern? Like, Johnny, isn't that Lawrence based? Are they big enough?
Possibly.
I think they're Lawrence based. Yeah. Johnny's Tavern coming in and saying, all right, because they're huge. In multiple locations.
But again, I don't know if the economy in Lawrence holds that. And especially for one player. Yeah, I could see putting $1 million.
Raleigh House.
I'm possibly. But again, like you said, the number that you said, 800,000 to $1 million.
Yeah.
I don't see a business out there supporting that for one player.
Yeah.
Maybe if it was the KU basketball program, like those sponsorship numbers might look somewhere in there.
You got Lawrence
Chipotle
Chevy.
Worked with Ochai though, so I guess Chipotle might be a good.
Yeah, the BMW dealership worked with Ochai as well. Yeah, the BMW.
dealership.
I would. Ochai had a new BMW every week.
Yeah, I would automatically assume that it will be a car dealership. But again, if we're talking about 800,000 to $1 million. BMW is about $40,000,
and maybe it comes from a KU alum that now lives in Kansas City, and it's like, all right, I'll match whatever dollars you guys are wanting to do.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. Like the NCAA now becomes that. It becomes a chess match.
Yeah, I agree.
The differences of a college city, because again, Tuscaloosa Alabama, like that's a place that they year-round traffic.
And I don't know if anybody's watching that is, that very familiar with KU and their alums. What notable alum? It has one of the hugest businesses in Kansas City. Is there one like you? I mean, you got Oregon with Nike, you got Wisconsin with Under Armour. So I mean, like what?
I'm sure it's something in there.
Like Cerner, like a Cerner could come in and say if they have
But again, who is that going to be? Who is that person that's going to say, let's keep this young black quarterback in Lawrence, Kansas? And I don't know who's fighting for that.
You want to win, put Booby in. I'm just saying, look, let him spin, Q.
I agree. I am there with you. I'm all in. But again, we talk about real life.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Lawrence, Kansas wants that black quarterback there. And making that culture change.
As long as it doesn't matter. It's all green. It spins. So as long as he's making the underlining thing, which is the money, don't matter.
And winning.
And
They like to win out there. So that is fair.
You would know, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
And like I think one of the basketball players had tweeted about how we haven't seen a loss since February.
Oh,
so
okay.
They sure are doing
flexing, huh?
Something right.
All right.
Something right.
Too soon, maybe.
Now, Casey Kern is also doing something right. They broke ground on new downtown area stadium and dreams big about the future. I love this one. I love it for women's soccer and for especially just Kansas City in general, putting on the map once again. And I think it's super amazing.
No, I love it for the city, especially to get that downtown stadium the city has been begging for. So now we have the fastest rising sport in America, which is soccer, not too far from the T-Mobile Center. So we've got a nice little cluster of arenas down there now.
Yeah.
And then it's an attraction. Like it's an attraction. And one thing that really some years back, Steve and I would talk about, my theory about the NFL being extinct in the next 10 to 15 years. And part of that was seeing how rabid of a fan base that came in town when the U.S. the women's Olympic team came to play here, and just seeing the amount of people that came in town for that, but then also the local energy around that, and then the sporting doing well around the time.
Yeah.
So again, if we could have the Chiefs, the sporting, the current, like all doing well in the city, I think it brings in that commerce that wants to keep a player like Jalen in KU. And it's like, yeah, we like to see this like local energy. And I think that's one thing that helps the city expand, because Lawrence is almost a suburb. I mean, it's a 30-minute drive, but that's 25 miles. I mean, you look at the width of like Dallas and Houston, like, their metropolitan area is almost an hour and a half surrounding, the downtown.
Yeah.
So
and with Olathe kind of spreading out towards that way.
Well, and and that's what I'm saying. Like it's almost a metro area.
Yeah.
And there are people that commute either from Lawrence or from here in either direction for work every day. So it's possible to become that, but I think the current adds that type of energy to the area.
And I love it too, because you think about just what it does to downtown Kansas City, what it does to the skyline. I mean, and I know we're kind of 10 years removed, but we're far from flyover country, right? We're like, I mean, we have everything is going to be on the streetcar line.
Yeah.
And then it's progressive too, because you had the dog park, Barquet started down there. Then you got one high-rise apartment, then another, and there been another down there. Now the stadium. So only thing I didn't like is they tore out the sand volleyball courts that were down there. But that kind of comes with it. But I think from that aspect of just women's soccer, it's the only, I think, women's soccer facility in the U.S., right? Women's professional soccer arena. So, and then it's going to bring concerts. Like, they're going to have concerts down there, possibly some high school football matches will go in there, graduations. You're going to have so many opportunities, not only just to play soccer, but just to use this facility.
Well, it adds an entertainment aspect. So again, that
Mhm.
the dollars are going to chase that.
Yeah.
Being the only women's facility in there, somebody's going to want a business, a lounge, a
Yep.
restaurant, a club. Like there's a lot of different things that can happen in that area. Also with the River Market expanding, and really building up the residencies around there, it's really going to look good for that area.
Yeah, and and I read a little bit more into it, but the ownership group, management team, they all put up in a boat from the Missouri River.
Mhm.
So I'm thinking they're gonna do something,
You have to.
with the boats where you're able to
You
pull
have
up to.
to.
Yeah,
You have to, and
yeah.
it's tough because of the type of river that is.
Mhm.
It's it's really tough, but I mean, clearly it can happen.
Yep,
So I
yep.
mean, something's got to happen, especially around that area concerning water. I
Yeah.
mean, we've seen riverboat casinos and different things here.
Yeah.
I think it'll really be cool, really, to see what they do around that. Because again, a modernized team that's not an old thinking team like
Yeah.
the Chiefs and the Royals. So that's really, and that's another thing too. I think if the Current does well, not only from fan engagement, but also bringing in players that can highlight the team,
Mhm.
you might look at some copycat tactics from the Chiefs and the Royals,
Of course.
because both of those organizations, from a front office stance, they are very old.
Yeah, and I think within the next 10 years we're gonna see 3 new stadiums, starting with the Current. Then next will be the Royals, and then the Chiefs. If the Royals move from that complex, that Kauffman complex, Arrowhead complex out there, the Chiefs will build a stadium. They'll tear down Kauffman and build one right next to it. And I think the next 10 years is critical for, especially with the World Cup coming in 2026. All eyes are going to be on this city over the next 10, 12 years.
Definitely. Now, a lot of eyes on Rihanna. She says she's nervous but excited for halftime show. Let's hear what she has to say.
How do you feel about performing at the Super Bowl halftime show?
I'm nervous, but I'm excited.
Okay, so who's gonna be that special guest that you are gonna bring on? Could it be ASAP? Come on, Rihanna, I gotta know. Maybe? Maybe, okay.
Baby girl. That's hilarious.
No, I love it though. I'm super excited. I know we talked about it before, but I'm super excited to see what they have.
No, definitely. I want to see it. I mean, I'm a fan of Rihanna's artistry. So
yeah, I agree. I mean, it's gonna be huge. Rihanna lovers like myself. It's gonna be huge, and shout out to I guess it's still Rock Nation that's putting this on, right? It's still JC
so,
still, yeah. So I love it, man. Just the fact of, and she's natural about it. Like I'm nervous. When have you heard an artist come out and say I'm nervous, but I'm still gonna kill it.
No, because it shows the magnitude, and I mean, why wouldn't she be nervous? She's got to follow Dr. Dre. And Beyonce. And
Beyonce did Super Bowl?
Yeah.
When was that? I don't remember.
Was it 2016?
And
and she did it. I think she did it twice.
Oh, did she?
Where you been?
Oh, dang. Dang. I guess I'm not a part of the Bayhive.
Recognize the queen.
Now, a fan who caught Aaron Judge's 60-second home run ball gets $2 million offer from an auctioneer. Cute. What would you do with $2 million?
Look, there's a lot I could do with that right now. And it is, especially business wise, it's a lot that I could do with that right now. But no, $2 million.
You're giving it up
for catching a ball. That might be, because I mean the capitalist in me would want to hold it, for a little while, see who the highest bidder would be. But then again, how often do you get offered $2 million? So,
right, I'm probably selling it, and I'm gonna take what you said in the meeting earlier this week, and trying to get some kind of stock in their company, and that company, some kind of royalty in their company on the ball. If you're buying, if you're gonna buy this ball for $2 million, if it sells for more, then I get a portion of that, or some kind of unique,
some sort of equity
to where I still am making money on my money that you guys have given me. So I think I would sell it, but there would have to be some kind of, something in there to where it says in the fine print, all right, I need more money that's going to be coming in my way, so I can put this $2 million away, but I'm gonna be living off of that interest, so to speak, that's going to be coming in.
Definitely. Now, LeBron James makes direct appeal to Adam Silver about owning an NBA team.
Oh, sheesh.
Let's hear what Bron had to say.
LeBron here. I'm the local guy. You talked about wanting to have an NBA team in Las Vegas. You came here. I remember played against the Warriors. And tonight, you get a lot of love. They love you out here. What's your thought of the atmosphere when you come out to Las Vegas and just, how the fans respond to you out here?
Oh, it's wonderful. It's the best fan base in the world. And I would love to bring a team here at some point. That would be amazing. And I know Adam is in Abu Dhabi right now, I believe. That's where they at right now? Yeah, with the Bucks and Atlanta. So, but he probably sees every single interview and transcript that comes through from NBA players. So I want the team here, Adam. Thank you.
So my thing here is the fact that he came out and said, hey, Adam Silver, I want the team here. And I mean, for a player to come out, I've never heard a player come out and say, hey, I'm bringing a team, or I want to bring a team to this city that doesn't have a team, that while they're playing. That's crazy. That's historic, to be honest. No matter what my feelings are about LeBron as a player, I've always said I love his business acumen. I love the team that's around him. And for him to be able to come out and say that, that's dope.
Yeah. And I mean, we've heard the rumors of him wanting to be a team owner and a part owner. Like we've heard all of those rumors, and sometimes those rumors have legs. Or those rumors could start some conversations, and I think that's what's happening. You're looking at a lot of celebrities now getting into that venture capital world. I mean, look at Kevin Hart with a restaurant and a tequila business. Yeah. So but now LeBron having a production company, having a school, like his investors now are wanting to take his ideas that his team has and put them forward. And one of his ideas, yes, should be team ownership. Like I've given this league almost 20 years of my life, like pretty close to it. And yes, I want to be an owner. Yeah. And yes, I have the financial backing for it. What's
the chances of him starting this team within the next couple of years, and then him going to play, bringing Bronny and then Bryce on to play with that team?
I think it'll be a lot more red tape than that.
Think so?
Yeah.
You think so?
I don't think it'll be that easy.
Okay.
Not in the league.
No.
Right. Not in the league.
I thought I'd throw that out there.
I mean, and he could, but then how much business sense would that make for the team?
A lot. I mean, a lot.
I mean, it could in jersey sales, but I'm talking about it because it's all about
the W. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, see how I caught that one?
Yeah. But it's I don't know if you're gonna be all about W's if you're all about just pulling your sons on. True. So, the nepotism works sometimes.
Now we're gonna take a quick break. Coming up, we'll discuss Draymond says that people who don't think the Warriors can win another championship should be quiet. Keep it locked in. This is W Show. We'll be right back.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Come spin with us, Kansas City. KC We Spin 360 is the coolest 360 video spinner experience for events. KC We Spin 360 is taking it to the next level. The 360 video spinner platform rental will be the life of the party. Everyone will be talking about their 360 video experience while bragging about it on their social media pages. The captivating slow motion and reverse effects will have your guests feeling like celebrities. The KC WeSpin 360 video spinner can capture slow-mo videos, GIFs, and boomerangs from every angle. Specializing in corporate events, weddings, social gatherings, bar bat mitzvahs, school events, and fundraisers, KC WeSpin 360 can be found online at kcwespin360.com. Come spin with us, Kansas City!
Don't be depressed, frustrated, or stressed because of the loss of a loved one. Golden Gate Funeral and Cremation Services is here to assist you with a smooth, stress-free transition. It doesn't matter how your loved one transitioned, we will offer you a memorable celebration to your liking. We are a family-friendly, full-service funeral home right here in the heart of the city, offering affordable cremations and package pricing and quality service. Call us when you need us. 816-231-GATE. That's 816-231-4283. There's only one Golden Gate, located at 2800 East 18th Street, Kansas City, Missouri. Exchanging your grief for a golden experience.
Are you ready to take your gaming experience to the next level? Max Adrenaline Mobile Video Gaming is here to offer the best mobile entertainment that includes video games, laser tag, and karaoke. Our mobile video game theater offers a 33-foot climate-controlled luxury RV with 5 gaming stations, and we can accommodate up to 20 players at once. Are you looking for entertainment at your next event? Well, look no further. We'll come to you. Specializing in birthday parties for all ages, sports events, team building, corporate events, school functions, holiday parties, and more. We're here when you need us at 816-897-0509 or maxadrenalinekc.com.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Remember to use to interact with our show. Use hashtag talk about messages. We'll talk about whatever topic you want. Now, Draymond Green apologizes for fighting. What are you guys' thoughts on this one?
Beats by Dre. That's funny. That's so funny. I mean, it's something that's common, I would say, in the NBA and the NFL.
Fighting?
Are you acting like it's not
Your team? Your teammate?
you?
On camera?
Yeah, because Brock. Well, not on camera. I think that's the only thing now. We're getting it on camera.
Yeah.
I mean, just 2 seasons ago, it was Bobby Portis putting the beats on his teammate. And part of that, he got suspended, and they kept it within the team, like it was a team suspension.
Yeah.
And all of that. But again, none of it gets overhyped because it's not on video.
True.
Like, and yes, we know practices get filmed and all of that. Like they do the whole 9. So again, how the leak came out is, and who knows how they deal with that.
And we got the video, in case you guys didn't see it. TMZ, yeah, they showed it. Let's see it. Because and even when you look at where Draymond Green was on the court, you can tell that they had some conversation or whatever. He and Jordan Poole, and word is he called him 000. Of course, going back to
that was fake.
But these is from NBA sources that said he said something. He said something, and then when you push them, you got to have your hands up and be ready.
Yeah, no, and there's about 4 or 5 narratives going around from sources. Yeah. Like we keep seeing all the different things, but
you could just tell Draymond wanted that smoke when he walked up to him.
Yeah, that's a guy that's an assassin with those hands, and I'm not sure you want that because oh my God, he pushed him and he just wasn't even ready.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, and that, I mean, for him, that push was a retreat. Like, man, just get out my face. But clearly.
But if you're pushing somebody, if you got to push someone, you stepping back.
You got to be ready.
For whatever. Yeah.
You got to be ready. And he was not. But again, like I said, like he pushed him and he just kind of like he was retreating back, and that's not gonna fly, not in the man's game. And especially something that in a league like this, where millions and millions of dollars is on the line, like people are again fighting for their spot, you remember the speech Draymond gave and like that we played in the summertime. Like there's a lot that goes into it. And yeah, when they say it's a man's game, you come in here and you're learning to play a man's game. That's what it is.
But not only that though, like now it sucks because, and on the serious side of it, it's your teammate, right? And we talked about not having cameras out there to being able to show. We never saw the Charles Barkley fights that he had in practice. We never saw those Detroit Pistons when they used to go at it in practice. And so now when you have Draymond and Jordan Poole, yeah, people put out those memes of oh, why you didn't do Draymond like that? Why you didn't do nothing, so it's that's coming. So when you're in a heated battle, let's say Draymond throws Jordan Poole a pass that is terrible. There's always going to be now that clash of
not always.
I think so. There's no coming back for
not
that.
Always. There's coming back from that because again,
it's on camera, bro. Like you can't.
It's on camera, but it's happened before. Like we saw with Martellus Bennett in Bears training camp where he choke slammed his teammate. And
that's
of course,
different. That's different. You always in contact. The basketball,
yes.
you're not in contact like that.
It's different, but again, it's still a team. It's still
I watched him hit him in his face. Like, there's no coming back from that. I'm sorry. It's just, I guess that's just me. Like, I'm always in the back of my mind gonna be like, dog, you punched me, bro. We not cool. Like no matter what.
But I also think there's a level of respect between the two now. Like brothers fight. Like, have you and your brother fought? Yes. Yes. Did it fracture the relationship forever? No.
Not on camera.
It don't matter if it's on camera.
It's worldwide. That's different.
Yeah.
That's totally different.
They are in the NBA. They know now that every part of their life is under a microscope, and they've been knowing that. Yeah, that's why I'm like, this is not a surprise. Like, yes, do the jokes hurt a little bit more now? Probably.
And if I'm on the brunt end of those jokes, I'm not with it. Like, nah.
But then that's where maturity has to come in.
And he ain't mature. He's 25, 26-year-old dude.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, you gotta learn. You gotta learn from that now. And it's Draymond has to learn from that. And I don't think Draymond learns from that. I think that's who he is. Like some people you just don't initiate with him in that sense. But
I never thought Draymond was about it like that. Like I never thought that he was.
That's what you thought.
Nah, I ain't, man. And that's what Jordan Poole thought. Like, all right, I'm pushing this dude. He all talk.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we understand the type of like when you grow up playing street because Draymond don't play basketball like he's like he's been in the best gyms all his life. Like I feel like he's played a lot of street ball and had a lot of street fights. Like, yeah, but. Yeah, I don't know why y'all thought Draymond was soft. Like, don't nobody talk like he talk and be soft like him and Kevin Garnett. Kevin Garnett.
Yeah.
The way they talk to other players.
Oh yeah. Now I know Kevin Garnett about that life.
But that's what I'm saying. Like they come from a cloth where you talk to people a certain way because you know you can back it up.
Yeah.
And that
Now, Florida female student athletes are asked about their menstrual history prior to games. For me, it's hard to wrap my brain around how this makes sense. Like, I could understand with the woman's body, and obviously it's going through a lot. And if you're performing during that period, yes, it can be like exhausting and stuff like that. And maybe it's for that possibly, but other than that.
It's for control. The only reason this is a thing, and especially from the Florida governor, is to track women for when they get pregnant. And then if you get pregnant, you better have the baby. Like there's no abortion that's going to happen. And we know that because this period tracker tracks your period.
Right. Yeah. It says it's for information purposes only.
No.
High school, and I think high school is so
it's fascism.
It really is. It should not. That's what they're saying. They're just trying to cycle information, just have it digitally or whatever. Nah, it's not cool. It's not cool at all.
I can't wrap my brain around it. I hate it. I wish we could hit the hate it button right now. But yeah, it doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. Now, the Alex Smith details how he circumvented concussion protocol while playing for the Chiefs.
Oh, the Chiefs cheated? No.
I don't like that sound in your voice, Q.
No.
I don't like that.
No.
Get that hatred out your voice, Q.
Yeah, because this sounds like Patrick Mahomes got a concussion and was blacked out one week and played the next week. No.
That's different, though. He was cleared. This is 3 days later.
Tua was cleared.
Yeah, the doctor was fired. Now, should Patrick have played? That's neither here nor there. We're talking about Tua, not Patrick. We're talking about Alex Smith now.
No, we're talking about Alex. Yeah, we're talking about we're talking about 2 instances before Tua. So again, why is this a surprise?
Yeah. I mean, but we know players cheat the system all the time.
Teams.
Players know how to. It's more players than anything.
Teams aid.
And reason why I say it's not just the teams, because you have these independent doctors that are working for the league. It's more the team than it is. I mean, it's more the player than it is the team, because you got guys that like Tua. He's 3-0, or what was he? He was 3-0 at the time. He was like, all right, I'm coming back out there, come hell or high water. You gonna have to. I'm gonna die for mine. That's what folks say. That I'm gonna die for it, and I'll die for this. What Day said.
And then they take their helmet away when they don't want them to go back into the game.
So that's when you just can't pass a concussion protocol. Like if you just your eyes are wandering, you probably shouldn't go. But if you're like, all right, I got this, even though your head may still be ringing, they're going to allow you to go back in the game.
Yeah. So basically, what we're saying is the NFL's concussion protocol is BS.
Oh, it should be changed. Yeah, I agree.
Should be changed. It's BS. Like there's no should be changed. Like this, Yeah, this is a dying sport.
It's not dying.
Okay.
On that note, we're gonna take a quick break. Coming up, we'll have our Hater or Love It segment. Kick it off with our sneakers of the week. This is the W Show. We'll be right back.
Oh.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Come spin with us, Kansas City. KC We Spin 360 is the coolest 360 video spinner experience for events. KC We Spin 360 is taking it to the next level. The 360 video spinner platform rental will be the life of the party. Everyone will be talking about their 360 video experience while bragging about it on their social media pages. The captivating slow motion and reverse effects will have your guests feeling like celebrities. The KC We Spin 360 video spinner can capture slow-mo videos, GIFs, and boomerangs from every angle. Specializing in corporate events, weddings, social gatherings, bar bat mitzvahs, school events, and fundraisers, KC We Spin 360 can be found online at kcwespin360.com. Come spin with us, Kansas City!
Don't be depressed, frustrated, or stressed because of the loss of a loved one. Golden Gate Funeral and Cremation Services is here to assist you with a smooth, stress-free transition. It doesn't matter how your loved one transitioned, we will offer you a memorable celebration to your liking. We are a family-friendly, full-service funeral home right here in the heart of the city, offering affordable cremations and package pricing and quality service. Call us when you need us. 816-231-GATE. That's 816-231-4283. There's only one Golden Gate, located at 2800 East 18th Street, Kansas City, Missouri. Exchanging your grief for a golden experience.
Are you ready to take your gaming experience to the next level? Max Adrenaline Mobile Video Gaming is here to offer the best mobile entertainment that includes video games, laser tag, and karaoke. Our mobile video game theater offers a 33-foot climate-controlled luxury RV with 5 gaming stations, and we can accommodate up to 20 players at once. Are you looking for entertainment at your next event? Well, look no further. We'll come to you. Specializing in birthday parties for all ages, sports events, team building, corporate events, school functions, holiday parties, and more. We're here when you need us at 816-897-0509 or maxadrenalinekc.com.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live. It's that time for Love It or Hate It.
Hate it.
If we love it, we talk about it. If we hate it, we move on.
Starting off the sneakers of the week, we have the Nike Dunk Low Argons.
Love these. Love them. Let me get them.
Yeah, nice.
Fire. The women's Air Jordan 3 Black Cement Gold.
I'm feeling these too, even though they women's. I like to go.
Kind of match what I got on today too, so that's cool.
They do.
Air Max 87 Ale Browns.
Cool.
Good fall shoe.
Decent.
And the Crush DC Nike SB Dunk Lows.
Give me these with a Halloween shirt from Walmart.
Yeah. These are the faves of the week.
Yeah.
Now, talking to Odell Beckham every week, I think I know where he's going to be at. Linebacker Von Miller says, hate it or love it.
He ain't coming to the Chiefs. Get it out your head. He ain't coming.
I think Von Miller was throwing a smoke screen for one. I think he just wanted to put teams on notice, but I think that was also him putting in his bid.
Buffalo. Yeah. I mean, they friends. Sometimes friends. Like, all right, I'm gonna say something about this. I'm gonna say something about it. Go ahead, man. I don't care. Go ahead.
No, because they
guys be talking,
and they tweeted back and forth about it too. So yeah.
All right, we appreciate everyone who joined in on today's show. We thank you. We thank you for making us a part of your Saturday morning. KU fans, I hope you guys get this win. Until next week, we are out of here.
Co-hosts, guests, and call-in listeners are solely the opinions and responsibility of the original source who expressed them. They do not represent the opinions of the W Show, 100.1 FM, One Kansas City Radio, Sideline Sports Talk, Team Wall Street Foundations, or affiliates.